Alright, so we've kind of looked into the client side, we've drilled into that, the client network. Let's drill into the LLbean network and where this web server is located. Let's go and insert a blank page. Alright, so we have LLbean's web server. And to be honest, it's probably not a tower, it's probably a blade server, which is just flat. But just to kind of give you a commonality, this is www.llbean.com. Okay, and that's the name of this server. It's in the LLbean's DNS server. So if somebody wants to access www.llbean.com, LLbean's DNS server says that equals whatever the address was, 216.5, whatever it was, .7.1. Okay, so when somebody accesses, that's what it looks like. So again, like our client-based network, we have core switches. DNS is probably attached to that core switch. The web server is probably attached to that core switch. And then obviously the LLbean's router out to the internet is connected to that core switch as well. So when we access www.llbean.com, it's accessing the server, which all it's doing is giving the front end, right, the web page. Right? When I go to llbean.com, it's giving me this. Okay, so it's serving up this page with these graphics. These are simply files stored on this web page. But once I go in and start shopping, if I have a log on, a credential, that I can look and see my past orders. So there's the log on, etc. Or I start going to look for something. So go and look for, so my wife wears a girl size shoe that she's been looking for. So if we actually went in there, you know, we could search for girls shoes. Alright, so she has a very small foot. So let's say we wanted to buy this fun kids shoe for her, right? So when it's pulling up this information, this is actually not located on that specific server. This information is stored in a database, which is on another server. So this is a database of all of its products. We may have another database of the user information, etc. And that may be plugged into the same core switches here, right? And so all that stuff's in a database back there. These databases, these are some servers, are actually then connected to probably, and this is in a data center that LLbean has up in Maine. So data center is a big room. It has controlled heating and air conditioning and temperature and moisture and things like that to make sure that these servers are always up and running so people can always buy their LLbean shoes, right? So we have what's called a storage array. All storage array is a huge closet full of computer disks. Okay, it's huge amounts of storage. Huge amounts of storage. And they probably have a couple of them, again, for redundancy. So if one goes down, the other one's up so it can run faster, etc. So these servers are not only connected to the local network, right, the IP-based network, but the servers are also connected to the storage, probably another switch here, through a storage area network, a SAN. Okay, so we have a lot of intricacies going on here for our servers. Okay, and this storage also holds things like, again, all this information of the products, the customers, their internal network, so their own users and files internally is probably stored on this same storage as well. So that kind of, we have both the local network, which is our traditional IP-based network, but then we also have this storage network where our servers connect to storage. So rather than having disks inside of these servers, we have the disks outside, and this can provide for a much faster service, can provide for a lot more redundancy of the disks, etc., than having them inside. So this is kind of a picture of what it's looking like from the server side. We also have some technologies going on here that are going to help us with securing some of these things, and we'll talk about that in future videos. But this just gives you a sense of what's happening on the LL Bean network. So we have our web server that's taking our connection. We probably have multiple web servers taking connections again, so we can have enough speed. And then those web servers are taking the requests, serving out the images and things, but then when they're looking up products, it's accessing the database servers. When they log in, it's accessing a different database of those login credentials, so it says what I've bought, so I can track my items, etc. But then those items and that information is stored on disks in these big storage arrays.